Psalm 110. A little word about what you're seeing on the screen is a picture I took when I was in North Dakota on a family trip 4 years ago. Actually, I took it 4 years ago exactly today, the day that I'm recording this. And it speaks to something that stirred in me with this psalm and then with the poem. Psalm 110. The Lord says to my Lord, sit at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool. The Lord sends out from Zion your mighty scepter. Rule in the midst of your foes. Your people will offer themselves willingly on the day you lead your forces on the holy mountains. From the womb of the morning, like dew, your youth will come to you, and the Lord has sworn and will not change his mind. You are a priest forever according to the order of Melchizedek. The Lord is at your right hand. He will shatter kings on the day of his wrath, and will execute judgment among the nations, filling them with corpses. He will shatter heads over the wide earth. He will drink from the stream by the path. Therefore, he will lift up his head. The poet for this psalm today is Reverend Martha Spong. And the title of her poem really captures for me exactly how I felt when I read this psalm a few days ago. Her title is Wait, What? She writes, Wait, what? Don't shatter heads for me, even the heads I think deserve it. Show your power otherwise. Change them and me. Turn our minds toward justice. Tune our hearts for mercy. Make enemies companions gathered around a table with you. When I read that psalm the other day, I got a hard time saying I'm going to be singing a prayer, singing a song that is asking God to shatter heads and fill nations with corpses and make my enemies my footstool. I mean, if God is that powerful, instead my prayer is much more along the line of what Reverend Spong writes. Just use that power to change them and me and us, to turn us towards justice and mercy and make enemies companions and all of us gathered around a table. I took this picture, as I said, 4 years ago, today, the day that I'm recording this. And we were on vacation. We were near the Teddy Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota. And I'd gone out early to watch the sunrise, as I often do. And as I was driving back, I saw this field where there was this huge gap in of fence. And on each side of that gap were these cattle. One group of cattle that was all white, one group of cattle that was all black. And I thought, wow, ain't that just a picture of us? And how we divide ourselves, we allow others to divide us, and how we like to do the us versus them. And then it's about who wins and who loses, whose heads will roll, as this psalm implies. Instead, my prayer each day is not for that. It is not for triumph over my enemies. It's that somehow we can find a way to break down those fences that divide us. And as the people, all of us made in God's image, we may come to that one table where people who considered each other enemies are now companions and friends. Maybe that's a naive hope, but that is my prayer. And I believe in a God who's big enough to do it. Grace and peace be with you today.